Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a mini-sode, but and I'm going to ask you if you voted to not keep making the show or where you're at. But the best way to support the show is if it's valuable to you. If it's actually valuable to you, support the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. You'll get access to an amazing platform built with super listeners like you in mind, and whatever level you support it at, it'll make a difference for the future of the podcast, and you'll be a part of this amazing community, whether it's active or passive. You'll get to feel good because hundreds of thousands of people will benefit because of your support, and the show will go on because of you. But first, this message is only for super listeners. If you're new to the show, you're just going through a tough time, you only listen occasionally, or somehow you stopped listening, but you're checking this message out, don't worry about it. Or if Sleep With Me does not make your life better on a regular basis, I'm not kidding. This isn't a passive-aggressive thing or anything. You could just totally ignore this message. But if you listen to Sleep With Me, if you've listened longer than 6 months, definitely longer than 6 years, 3 years, definitely longer, 100% if you listen longer than 6 years. If you listen 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week, if you listen to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes a night, or if you fall asleep very, 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 very fast, if Sleep With Me is a regular part of your life, I'm gonna beg you at this point to please listen to this one message. I'll try to make it quick, but if you're one of those people whose life is made better by Sleep With Me, like Sleep With Me actually makes your life better on a consistent basis, or even improves your life moderately but regularly. Like you use Sleep With Me in a sense like a service, or Sleep With Me provides a service for you. Could you just listen for a few minutes? And I'm going to assume you have not heard any of the other messages we've been putting out, but there's been a drastic cutback in advertising on podcasts, not just on Sleep With Me. And there's been a lot of changes that have made it harder and harder each year over the past 3 or 4 years to keep podcasts sustainable, especially kind of mid-size ones like Sleep With Me. But Sleep With Me is different than most podcasts where we have an overall audience, but we have a group of listeners who listen all the time, all-night listeners, people that fall asleep fast, people that listen 5, 6, 7 nights a week. And people have listened for longer than 3 years, longer than 6 years even. Some people longer than 8, 9, 10 years. And I think we're used in a different way than most podcasts, and I'm proud of that. I love making this show. But this show is in a spot where the future of Sleep With Me is really going to come down to you, the super listeners, you specifically. You're listening to me right now. And the odds are you're really the only person listening and paying attention to me. And I've been saying that over and over again because it's true. Like, if you're listening to me right now, you're probably the only one paying attention and listening. And it is going to come down to you to decide if Sleep With Me is worth it to you. If all those other things are a yes, is it worth taking 5 minutes to decide on the future of the show? Because the last message we put out, 19,199 people. Oh, no, that's since we started this campaign. So for 2 months, 19,199 people that listen to the podcast, consume the podcast on a regular basis, much, much more than most listeners. They kind of just passed and this is Scoots maybe late. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Did they not hear me? Were they not listening? Or is it just not a big deal to them? Well, if you stop making the show, I'll just move on. It does make my life better. I don't know about so I don't know if you're one of those 19,199 people, the future of the podcast is going to come down to you deciding. So the no, stop, don't bother, give up, really is going to be if you don't do anything. So if you're hearing me right now and you're like, yeah, nah, that's your vote. Sleep With Me will stop because we're really starting to, I'm just really starting to weigh my future with the show. I can keep the show going and I can keep everybody working on the show for a while, but I would have to move on from the show. So, You get to decide. And there's 3 ways to decide. There's one way to decide no, just don't do anything. Just, even if you're hearing me, ignore me kind of, or say, oh yeah, maybe, or this sounds like a little, that's the vote, give up, stop making the show, move on. But if you're like, I didn't hear any of those messages, I was asleep, I do, like, if you're hearing me, great news. You get to be a part of something magical that has changed lives for 11 years, and be a part of the future of Sleep With Me. And 2 of those ways are free, and one of those ways takes almost no effort. So if you are not interested in supporting the show, not interested in helping out financially or helping the podcast out, but it still has changed your life and you still want me to make it, just go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you and fill out the survey and say no. And these are the reasons I'm not going to support the show. They're legitimate to me. I respect that. And vote. And if 1,500 people vote no there, I'll still keep making the show. I don't know how, but I will keep making the show, or a combination. And here's the thing. 404 people already filled out that form and said, no, this podcast makes my life better. A lot of people said, I skipped the ads, and I really want you to keep making it. And those 404 people, even though they said, no, I'm not supporting the show, it means a lot to me. It means a lot more that they said no. Keep going. I'm not going to support it. Someone else will. But keep going, because they're invested in the show. So if that's the way you want me to vote, yes, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. If you want to spend time helping the show, realistically, a lot of people have signed up for the referral program, but only 20 people since we started this campaign are actually even shared their link once. So 20 people there that said, I can't afford to support the show, but I'm willing to try to help the podcast out for free via the referral program. And the best news is, if I have to do any drastic cutbacks, the people that are actively participating in the referral program, they'll have access to Sleep With Me Plus too. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. And that's a vote yes if you sign up for that program and you share your link even once, or you actively try. That's a huge, huge help. If you say, oh, I can't support the show, but one day I want to help, or I've always wanted to support the show, just support it via the referral program. It is a huge, 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 huge help. Those people that are out there sharing it, there's a couple people who've gotten referrals recently. But the best way to support the show is if it's valuable to you. It takes a lot of work to make this show. And I want to keep working on it with the team of people that work on it, right? For years and years into the future, and not start to try to figure out how can I do something else and kind of slowly wind down me working on the podcast. I don't want to do that. I want to keep working on this show, but I'm not letting anybody go that works on this podcast because we need them. The podcast wouldn't exist without the people behind the scenes making the show. If you want, if it's actually valuable to you, support the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. You'll get access to an amazing platform built with super listeners like you in mind, and whatever level you support it at, it'll make a difference for the future of the podcast. And you'll be a part of this amazing community, whether it's active or passive. You'll get to feel good because hundreds of thousands of people will benefit because of your support. And the show will go on because of you. Just like people in the past, if you've been listening a long time, other people have been supporting the show for a long time to make sure that everybody has access to this podcast. So yeah, if you show, make sure, and here's the thing, I've looked through some of those no thank you surveys, and a couple of people have said like, hey, you don't have what net movies has, or HB Max, or pluses of Mouse Plus or whatever. And I'd say to those people, that's right. But to you, if you're a super listener, what do you use more? Some corporate app you pay $14 a month for and have ads? Do you use that app as many hours a month as Sleep With Me? And I'm being direct, like you pay $7 for this other app. Do you get as much? Does it make your life as good? And all those have ads now. Sleep With Me Plus doesn't have ads, and it's like a small business. So it really does come down to you, and you don't have to support the show financially. I mean, eventually we do have to get the support, But the goal is to get to 1,500 people by the end of July. I don't know, or it was the beginning of July, but I don't think we'll get there. But if by the end of July, 1,500 people said no, or 1,500 people are getting referrals, even one referral, or 1,500 people are supporting the show in combination, at least I know the show matters to 1,500 of those 20,000 people that you're a part of, those 20,000 people. If you're listening and hearing me, you're one of those 20,000 people that benefit the most from the show, way, way more than the casual listeners. And advertising just doesn't cover that kind of listening. It never has. But I've just never thought about it in this way because this show's never been in this spot where it's like, can I keep making Sleep With Me? I don't know. Is it sustainable or not? But it really is the thing. It's like, man, if only 1,500 people of the 20,000 people that listen the most support the show. But I'm at this paradoxical point. Like, is it that the show's just not that valuable to you? Is it just too much to ask? Or is it that you're not hearing me or not listening to me? And the only way I can find out is either you say yes or you say yes via saying no, because those 404 people, so there's more people that said no than supporters we netted, but it's pretty close in number, 404 to 377. So it's a total of 801 people who said keep going, whether it's keep going, but I can't support the show financially, those 20 people who are helping on the referral program, or the 404 people said, I am not going to support the show, but keep going. Those are still keep goings, right? Those are still saying, yes, Sleep With Me is more valuable. Or I guess people said, well, I'm not going to pay for it because it doesn't have as many movies as Net Movies Plus or whatever. But, I get it. So, I don't know. Is Sleep With Me more valuable than that stuff to you? Is it more valuable than just taking 5 minutes to say, keep going, but I'm not going to support the show? Think about it. Like, if you're a super listener, but don't wait. Here's the thing, because in July, if it ends up there's not 1,500 people combined that are interested in the show, like, I guess I'll think about, that's a pretty strong message. There's 20,000 people that listen to 80% of Sleep With Me every single month. They listen to 80% of the content. But I know you're out there. I just am like, man, so now I'm begging, please, like, I don't want to stop this show. I don't want to stop working on this podcast and do something else. But right now the opportunity window is open for me, right? So it's like, I could keep the show kind of going, but move on to something else, and keep everybody working on the show, which is what I prefer. But I'd also prefer to keep making new episodes long into the future. So, again, don't wait. Vote. Those are the ways to vote. They're in the show notes, and they're simple. sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, or sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And I hope to hear from you tonight, really. Or like to get us to like whatever, 50% of the way there. All right, thanks.